Alright, so I'm back. Gonna give you part 2 of this fucking amazing adventure. So I think I was talking about that fucking train we was on. It was like damn near 2 days straight of this shit. And we didn't have nothing prepared. I mean, we didn't bring no food with us or nothing. So it was a motherfucker just trying to get food and shit. We ended up having to live off them fucking cup of noodles, but I don't know if you ever had Chinese cup of noodles. They're a lot fucking better than those ones in America. I ain't gonna say they're great fucking eating or nothing like that, but it's better than starving anyway. And they're hell a lot better than them fucking cup of noodles we get in America, but those things are a fucking joke. But yeah, we got there anyway. We got to that fucking town. And before we even arrived at that town, I could tell shit was different. But when I got off that fucking train, I saw that town. Oh my God, blood, it was like nothing I ever seen. It looked like it'd been attacked by a fucking Air Force. Like, it looked like maybe the Japanese bombed that motherfucking village or something back in World War II and nobody ever bothered to clean that motherfucker up. It turned out that ain't the case. It was just decaying old and people's broke. They couldn't fix them old buildings. I mean, I don't really know how to explain this place, but it was fucked up. It looked like one of them towns that's set up to be demolished, but they still motherfuckers living there. And I can't ask her nothing about it because she gonna get offended if I do. It made sense to me why she left her hometown and moved to Hangzhou, but it's kind of the case with almost everybody there. In that city, ain't nobody from that city. The whole time I lived there, I met like 3 or 4 people actually from there. Nah, everybody come from other towns, blood. Nobody from the town they live in, it seems like when you out there, especially when you see cities like Hangzhou, because it's a nice ass city. So motherfuckers is coming from everywhere to live there. But anyway, let me get back to that fucking town, explain what I was talking about. So we got off that train and shit, and there ain't no regular taxi, just a pirate taxi. I don't know if you know what that is. It's just a motherfucker in their car that's charging you money to take them somewhere. And they drive like maniacs. Taxi drivers in general drive like fucking nutcases, but these motherfuckers ain't even real taxi drivers, and they'll do some stupid shit, blood. They'll fucking drive on the sidewalks, there are people walking. They'll try to rip you off on your change and shit like that. If you ever go to China, you should avoid using these motherfuckers unless you got to, blood, because they a pain in the ass. I had nothing but fucking problems using these motherfuckers. But yeah, so we got to our town, blood, and it was like being in another country. For real though, you live in one of them modern cities out there now, it's fucking nice. And you go to a place like this, it's like being in another fucking country. So this guy, he drops us off like right at the center of the city or the entrance of the city. It's these old city walls, like in old times, this village old as fuck. There used to be a walled city, but that shit broke down. And now there's just these 2 decayed ass old fucking gates that's left. All the rest is just rubble and shit. But then right next to both them gates are these 2 giant fucking piles of bones, but like cow bones or some shit. They're like 2 stories tall. I don't know what the fuck they was doing there. They look weird as fuck. I wish I took some pictures of that shit. I mean, I never seen so many fucking bones in my life. I have no idea why they stack them there, why they at the gate of that fucking town. And I wasn't gonna ask that girl. So by this point, motherfuckers is noticing me. And it's Backstreet Boys effect all over again. You got the foreigners there. They never have foreigners there, so everybody gonna make a big deal about you and shit. But this was different. This was a lot more intense. I started noticing there's this similarity with a lot of these motherfuckers in this village, but they all got this real strange looking face. The best way I can explain, you ever seen an electric light socket, you know, when you plug your lights into? It kind of looked like a face in a way. It got like 2 eyes and a mouth and shit. That's what these people's faces look like. And it was like, a lot of the town looked like this. They all had like this same phenotype or genotype, whatever the fuck it is. Only thing I'm guessing must have been some ugly motherfucker back in the day, real powerful or some warlord or some shit. And he knocking up every girl in that village and they having ugly ass kids together, all got that weird ass electric socket face. I don't fucking know. There is a lot of variety in Chinese people's faces. I've heard people make some kind of like ignorant comments in America about they looking the same and shit like that. But trust me, they think the same thing about fucking everybody else. Like one of my Chinese friends, he mentioned that he's saying how all white people look the same. I thought this was funny as hell because white people, we got different hair colors, different eye colors and shit. But to a lot of Chinese, we do look the same. But not in this village, man. It was like every motherfucker looked the same. It was bizarre. And even that girl's family, blood, they all had the electric plug socket fucking face, blood, for real. And that shit's gonna become a mystery to me later, but it's gonna be solved and wonder why the fuck, cause she looked good, blood. She was pretty banging, blood. But all her family are a bunch of fucking goblins, blood. And I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. Anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. I was trying to describe that town and shit. I remember going out on the road, blood. And they would fucking, this girl, but she's fucking washing her clothes in a fucking dirt puddle in the middle of the road. I seen a few other motherfuckers doing this. They like potholes in the road or ditches and shit, and they straight washing they fucking clothes in rainwater in these fucking dirt holes, blood. It's just kind of a surreal experience being out there, and it's just a fucking really strange town. I remember going by like these garbage dump things where they put all that garbage and burn it, and there was like the local crazy lady rolling around in this fire garbage. It was bizarre. It was like still smoldering and shit, and she rolling around in it. So I asked the girl, so what the fuck's going on there? She just telling me it's the local crazy lady and shit like that. So we get through this village, all these motherfuckers, like a big crowd of 50 people follow me like I'm the fucking Piper and shit. We finally get to her house, but and it is a fucking disaster, man. Her house is nasty. It looked fucking medieval, bro, but it looked like they had done no upkeep on this motherfucker, and it must have been built like before World War II or some shit. Had a bunch of windows smashed out, and this fucking February, blood, it's cold as fucking China this time of year. And this house ain't got no heating and shit, and all their windows is smashed out. I don't know how the fuck these people living like this, blood, but that's just Western China. Everything in this house, concrete too. Concrete sinks, concrete floors, every fucking thing. Which ain't a big deal. I mean, you there for a while, you get really used to that kind of shit, but this place was just so fucking cold and uncomfortable. I can't believe people live. There ain't no sit-down toilets neither, but that ain't a big fucking deal to me, blood. I've been using them squat toilets for days, and they're pretty fucking easy. The only thing that sucks about it, you gotta take your pants off. You gonna shit down your pants if you don't. I remember that first fucking apartment I had in China was like $300 a month and shit. It didn't even have no toilet or no squat. It just had a straight fucking hole in the middle of the floor. You just shit down it, dumped a bucket down it, and flushed it out. And like this family, I think I told you, it was like multi-generational. The hell of motherfuckers living in this big ass house. And their kitchen separated, but it ain't really like a kitchen though, blood. It like a shack. You can tell they used to have an old kitchen. It looked like the Japanese must have bombed that motherfucker too. Nah, it wasn't bombed. It just decayed and fell apart, and nobody bothered to fix it. So they made a makeshift kitchen out of corrugated roofing, and they cook out there. The whole family eat out in this corrugated roofing, blood. And that food they served was fucking, oh man, it was rough, blood. It was fucking rough. And I was there for a long time. And I remember that first time I had to eat with all these motherfuckers. There's no end of them, blood. And I ain't trying to be mean or nothing, player, but they a fucking family of freaks, blood. They all goblins, but they all got serious shit wrong with them. And this kind of an unfortunate cycle. It happened to a lot of people out there, because like United States, you got a lot of government help, a lot of resources dedicated to kids that's born with problems and shit. But over there ain't, blood. And one of the main strategies a family's gonna do there, because they have to like rely on each other. The family unit is still so critical to Chinese society. So like your kid comes out deformed, retarded, you're gonna have another kid to help him out. And that second kid, he's gonna be responsible for his parents when they get older, and he's gonna be responsible for his brother or sister that's retarded or deformed, whatever, that can't work or help himself. So it's kind of a big thing. So what happened with this lady, tall girl's mom, is she started giving birth to all these goblins, and she just kept having more and more, hoping something's gonna come out normal and they can take care of the fucking family. But none did. But homegirl normal, blood, she banging too, she fine as hell. And she got a brother too, he normal too, he work out in the big city and shit. He show up there too with his girl, and you could tell she like me, she in complete culture shock being there, blood. I think homeboy and his girl, they worked in Shanghai, some pretty wealthy girl, and for her to come back to a house like that, she wasn't really ready for it. She was kind of overwhelmed with it, you could tell, especially all them goblins there. And I'll find out later on why she looked normal, her brother looked normal, but the rest of the family didn't. And it's pretty fucking shocking why. I'm sure I'm gonna tell you later, but let me just stick to what I'm talking about right now. Damn. So yeah, like I said, I was getting sidetracked. I need to keep to what the fuck I was talking about. We was talking about the city, we wasn't talking about the city, what was we? So everything for me in this village is just all bad. The food's fucking terrible. I don't think I mentioned, nobody there speaks Mandarin, blood. Mandarin, the national language. People supposed to speak it all over, but nobody in this town can speak it. I don't know if you know or not, but in China, every city, every town, it's got its own distinct, unique language, and they're not like understandable, decipherable from one another. The written is the same, but the verbal is different. I mean, it's completely fucking different. Like, you ever hear people speaking Cantonese, you hear people speaking Mandarin, they completely fucking different. And the language in this fucking town was bizarre. It just sounded like they was mumbling shit. You couldn't understand them at all. That made shit real fucking terrible. Like, just trying to go out and get something like at a store, like you want to get some cigarettes or something like that. Cigarettes was about the only motherfucking thing I could get there. I couldn't get anything else. Couldn't even get cola, fucking anything. And once you step outside their house, blood, you gonna immediately get bombarded with a fucking village full of goblins. They gonna come surround you, hobbling you, fucking harassing you and shit like that. It's a lot to deal with. You don't wanna fucking deal with it all the time. Shit, I realized I'm getting sidetracked. I was talking about meals with them too, blood. Like, I had to eat all these meals and there was no escape. There was no restaurants, no KFC, nothing. It was eat their food or fucking starve. And I'll never forget that pig intestine, because it was like, they didn't clean them out right or something, blood. There was still big chunks of shit in there. You could fucking taste it when you was eating it, blood. And it was fucking revolting, blood. And I wanna make something else clear right quick too about like small villages. Now, they no way they ever as much fun as big city. Big city in China is amazing. It's got everything, it's beautiful, it's fun. Small towns got less, but they usually still fun. Like, usually you go to some small town village, you a foreigner there, people gonna wanna drink with you, play mahjong, whatever. You know, they wanna take you out, show you a good time and shit like that. And they places to go, but not this village. I don't know if most of Western China is like this. I'm not really sure, blood. Maybe it's just this village was like it, but it was fucking depressing as hell. And I can see why people don't wanna live out there. They wanna go east. And I didn't even tell you the best fucking part. They no internet at all. I mean, not just in their house. You can't use your phone. There's no connection there in this fucking town. China usually got real good connection, but not in this village. And I remember a few days into it shit, and I never really like asked her how long we gonna be there. I just assumed it's gonna be for like 5 days, 6 days maybe. Fuck no, we there for 10 days, blood. 10 fucking days. So I'm stuck in this freezing fucking house, middle of nowhere. Nothing to fucking do. Can't even eat anything you wanna eat. Can't even get internet, blood. Nothing, blood. You can't even talk to anybody. They don't even speak Mandarin. I left there. I had a quarter of some good flour. As good as you're gonna get there. It's pretty good too. It's not bad. So I had that, but I didn't realize I was gonna be there for 10 fucking days, blood. That's too long, blood. I can't make it last that long. And just being a straight dumb fuck, first couple days I'm there, I'm just blazing through shit, not thinking like that. Think it's gonna last me. I'm gonna be there 5 days. Core can last me 5 days, easy. 10 days, nah, blood. I'm gonna run out now. One of the reasons I was gonna run out so quick, and it was kind of one of the highlights of this whole fucking trip, was a tall girl's uncle lived there too. And this motherfucker was wild, man. He was a crazy motherfucker. And I really liked this cat at first. Little did I know, a few days later, I would literally be plotting on how I can murder this motherfucker or like seriously maim him or cripple him the rest of his fucking life for what I seen him do. But before that, we was cool, blood. We was friends. And usually I ain't trying to be stereotypical or like judgmental, say Chinese can't drink as like much as Westerners or something like that. Something to be proud of any fucking way. But generally it ain't true. Chinese don't really drink that hard and they start early. They start drinking that baijiu, that Chinese rice wine. It's strong as fuck, blood. It goes through you quick though. Chinese start drinking after work like 5, 6. By 9, they're drunk, but they're able to get up in the morning. They're good to go in the morning. But it's been kind of my personal experience that most Chinese I drank with couldn't really drink as much as Westerners drink. They all try to, you know, this and that. Their alcohol content in their beer is like really fucking low, man. Don't even bother fucking with that Chinese beer if you're there. Unless you can go to some foreign market or find somewhere that's got special beer, because that shit's usually like 2% alcohol. A light beer in America is like 5%, so you ain't getting shit. And it was weird as fuck too with this whole alcohol thing with a fucking beer, cause like Qingdao, popular beer, you get the cans, they were 4.3% alcohol. You can get drunk off that, it'll do the job. But they bottles don't. They bottles is only like 3%, so you gotta drink that shit hard and fast to get anything out of it. And it ain't even fucking worth doing, blood. You better off just drinking some Jinzhou or some fucking baijiu. Anyway, I was talking about homegirl's uncle and shit, and this motherfucker made his own booze. And this fool was a hard drinker. He one of the hardest drinkers I ever met in my fucking life. This dude was really something. He made his own, it's called a Huangzhou, I think. Yeah, it'd be Huangzhou, fucking yellow wine, homemade yellow wine. It was strong as fuck too, but this shit would get you deliriously drunk, blood. First time this fool hit me up with this shit, I got fucking stupid on it, blood. Me and this motherfucker, we really liked each other. He was funny as hell. We couldn't communicate really, but we got along real well. And I could tell he was on my level. He liked to fucking party. I know he never fucked with no Dama before, blood. He never fucked with no greens. Only thing this motherfucker probably smoked his whole goddamn life was cigarettes, blood. And I was fucked up. I don't usually do this, blood. You don't ever try to turn them locals onto this shit, blood. And I only did this because I was fucked up, drunk, and out of my mind. I would normally, I could tell this was one of my people. He was on my level. But I would normally never introduce Chinese to this shit, blood. You don't fucking do that. Chinese in China and foreigners in China, we live in two separate worlds in a lot of ways. And those worlds don't intersect. And one thing don't intersect is like smoking them greens, but you don't fucking bring Chinese into that. You just keep it with foreigners. Don't get me wrong, some fucking do, but it ain't many. Statistically speaking, it's probably like 1% maybe. America is probably like 20% people smoke green, maybe more, I don't fucking know. But over there, it's real low. It was funny as hell, too, getting this fool tacked out, blood, because he got so fucking lit. It was hilarious, because he was drunk as fuck, and he never experienced this before, blood. He was like in another world and shit. Needless to say, the motherfucker loved it, too. He wanted it all the time. He's always asking me. He's always, like, making these hand gestures, like, let me know he wants to smoke. And I don't like turning people down. I'm always down to smoke. But I was running out fast. Anyway, let me get back about this fucking family and shit. Cause I remember this one night, I was in their little corrugated roofing shack, the kitchen, and Big Mama, she in there cooking, blood. She's sick as fuck, and she's hawking up all kinds of loogies everywhere. I don't know, blood. It's like I know she ain't spitting in the fucking food or nothing, blood, but just something really off-putting about that. And then she got her finger up her nose the other fucking half the time, just picking boogers out while she cooking.